I still remember the sound, that awful, shrill scream from the dialysis machine. You never really get used to it. I'd been volunteering at the Pine Creek Veterans Health Center for over a year by then, and every time that alarm went off, it cut straight through the air like a blade. But that day, it was different. The moment I heard it, my stomach dropped. Something felt off, deeper than usual, wrong in a way that wasn't just medical. It was a Wednesday. Always was. I'd swing by after lunch, spend a few hours with the vets. Sometimes I played chess with Calvi and Briggs Marine, 2 tours in Nam, smart as hell. Even with his kidneys shot and his body worn down, he still had this fire in him. Dry humor, wicked memory, always asked for black coffee no matter what his doctor said. But that day, when I walked into the unit, he wasn't cracking jokes. He was gasping for air, clutching his chest, and that damn machine next to him was going haywire. Pressure drop. Critical pressure drop. His O2 is tanking Simone Page Ramirez now. Maria, one of the nurses, was usually cool under pressure. That day her voice cracked. Brenda, the head nurse, rock solid, tough as nails. She was already at his side, barking orders. Check the dialysate line. Get the crash cart. Now, I should have just stayed back. Just been the quiet volunteer who brings cookies and listens to old war stories. That's who I was to them, Mike, the soft-spoken guy from some health agency who liked playing chess and didn't say much. But the truth? The truth was a little different. I'm Michael Thorne, lead investigator, Department of Health Integrity, specializing in medical device failure and federal healthcare compliance. I'm the guy they call when something doesn't smell right. And that machine, it stank. The thing was brand new, top-of-the-line MCare X90. Installed just 6 months prior with federal funds, part of a program to bring advanced care to underserved veterans. The unit had been a godsend for guys like Calvi. Before, they'd have to drive nearly 2 hours for treatment. Now, they had something right in town, staffed by folks who actually gave a damn. But from the day it opened, that unit stirred up a storm. See, the Pine Creek Veterans Health Center shares its property line with the Crestmore Lakes Homeowners Association, a retirement community filled with neatly trimmed hedges, monthly wine tastings, and one woman hell-bent on making everyone else's life miserable. Lorraine Whitfield. She was the HOA's treasurer, unofficial queen, and very much unamused by the dialysis unit. Claimed it brought down property values, that ambulances were too loud, and that sick people made the community feel morbid. Yeah, she actually said that. Out loud. In a meeting. Her problem wasn't zoning or noise or biohazard disposal units. Her problem was veterans. Sick, injured, dying veterans. Because they didn't fit into her pristine little retirement fantasy. She tried everything to shut us down. Pulled obscure clauses from 30-year-old HOA bylaws. Cited Section 5B, Paragraph 12, claiming medical facilities OLAT community use restrictions. But she lost. The county had an easement. The land was federal. And veterans? Well, veterans trump HOA politics. At least on paper. Still, the machines kept failing. First, it was a simple glitch. Then another. 3 weeks in a row, we had to cut treatment short due to unexplained pressure irregularities. The manufacturer blamed power surges. Then faulty sensors. Then firmware issues. But I knew better. I've seen sabotage before in this. This was ticking all the boxes. I kept quiet, at first. Took notes. Monitored the logs. Snapped pictures when no one was looking. I was building a case. But when Calvi collapsed that day, gasping for breath, and I saw the horror on Maria's face, I knew we were out of time. And then came the pipe. It was 5:20 a.m. The next Monday. Mr. Jansen, the janitor, 73 years old, retired Coast Guard, found the utility closet flooded. Someone had sliced the intake pipe for the reverse osmosis filter. That pipe feeds all 3 dialysis machines. Without it, the water's untreated, dirty, potentially lethal. Had Calvi or anyone else been hooked up that morning, they'd be dead. The cut was clean, surgical, a professional job. And the closet? Locked. Or at least it was. Someone had forced the latch and slipped in during the night. Not a random act. Not some punk teenager. This was targeted. That's when I dropped the act. I called Brenda Mr. Jansen, and yes, Lorraine. She'd shown up, draped in pearls, clutching a thermos of lemon water, acting shocked and outraged that anyone would harm our community center. I pulled them all into the flooded closet and showed them my badge. Michael Thorne, Department of Health Integrity. What's been happening here isn't a coincidence. This is sabotage. And starting now, this site is a federal crime scene. Brenda blinked, then nodded. Jansen gave a low whistle. Lorraine went pale. I told her straight. Given your public opposition to this unit and your presence here this morning, you're now a person of significant interest. I suggest you call your lawyer. And don't leave town. She sputtered something about abuse of power and rights as an HOA official. I didn't flinch. Tampering with life-sustaining equipment on federal healthcare property isn't just sabotage. It's attempted murder. That shut her up. Within hours, my team arrived: engineers, forensic analysts, DVYC specialists. We pulled apart the machines piece by piece. Found tampering. Micro scratches on valve housings. Solvent traces designed to degrade seals. Evidence of someone deliberately trying to create intermittent failures, the kind that look like bad luck until someone dies. Then came the footage. Most of the security cameras had technical issues during key moments. How convenient, but one camera, mounted on the back alley of the center, caught a figure slipping through the shadows around 2:17 a.m. The night the pipe was cut. The build? Female. The gait? Recognizable. The bag? A black utility tote just like the one Lorraine was known to carry. We didn't arrest her that night. Not yet. We waited. One last push. At the emergency HOA meeting, packed, sweaty, tense, Lorraine stood up and ranted. Claimed the dialysis staff were undertrained. Said the patients themselves were unpredictable. That maybe, just maybe, it wasn't sabotage, just incompetence. And that's when I walked in. 2 federal agents flanked me. I let her finish. Then I stepped up to the mic. Lorraine Whitfield, you are under arrest for multiple federal crimes, including sabotage of medical equipment, endangerment of a protected patient population, and obstruction of a federal investigation. We have evidence, witness testimony, security footage, solvent purchases traced to your credit card, tools recovered from your garage wiped clean, but not clean enough. She screamed, cried, called it a witch hunt, swore she'd sue, swore she was a pillar of the community. But no one stood with her. The cuffs clicked shut, and the room went quiet. In the weeks that followed, the story went national. HOA treasurer arrested for sabotaging veterans' dialysis machines. Public outrage exploded. Lorraine pleaded guilty in exchange for a reduced sentence, still decades in federal prison. Her assets? Frozen. Used to rebuild the center, install new equipment, and fund security upgrades. The HOA itself wasn't spared. My office found proof they ignored repeated warnings, failed to act on staff concerns, and let Lorraine's hatred run unchecked. They were fined, put under federal oversight, and forced to completely rewrite their bylaws. The Pine Creek dialysis unit was rebuilt stronger, safer, better. The vets came back. Cal VYN came back. And yes, he beat me at chess again. Out of darkness, something good was born. Congress passed new laws. Stronger regulations. Tighter controls on community-based healthcare facilities. Federal grants for security upgrades. DVYC manufacturers had to build better, smarter, tamper-proof machines. They called it Cal VYN's law. I still go by Mike when I sit. Still bring cookies. But now, when those machines hum steady, safe, unbroken, it means more than I can say. Not just because we caught the VY lane, but because we proved something bigger. That communities can heal. that good people still fight. That veterans deserve better in this time. They got it. Tell me what you think. Would you have seen through her lies? Should HOAs have this much power over something so vital? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. And hey, maybe next time, I'll tell you about the case with the fentanyl patches and the church basement. But that's a story for another day.